So tomorrow is the day. When I get up tomorrow, we're going to get this renovated and make it look nicer. Right guys, so it is the day of the renovation and I can't wait to get going. I'm so excited about this. So we have got the tarpaulin laid down there, ready for the topsoil to arrive, which is coming very shortly. And then we can begin. So we've got 1.5 tons of topsoil here, as you can see, and we're going to be using this to try and improve the levels that we've got currently. This was killed off about 4 weeks ago now. We used Roundup, and so as you can see, it's totally dead, but it's uneven. It's like the Grand Canyon. Look at that! Look at the gap there. That's really bad. I can get my hand right under there so easy. So it's pretty bad wherever you go. And there's a variety of dips. There's a dip there and over here. And I think, just look at that. Just look at that. I could do a little BMX court here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be the work for today: scarifying, aerating, leveling, overseeding, top dressing, plenty of watering. That is my aim for today. So I'm going to show you the tools that we're going to be using. There we have grass seed, a roller, hollow tine lawn aerator, backpack blower, wheelbarrow, top dresser, don't need the ramp, lute, a shovel, a seeder, and a variety of tools: a scarifying rake, a garden leaf rake, leaf grabbers, and a landscaper's rake. Let's get dirty. So first things first, it's quite dry today, and it's been dry for the past few weeks, which means it's going to get very dusty and the ground is quite firm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a bit of a damping down just to stop the dust and just to enable better penetration when it comes to core aeration. So you need to make a decision about what you're going to do with your lawn. Are you going to bring soil in and level the dips up to the level, or have you got some really high spots that you need to level down? You need to make that decision. So I'm just going to walk you around mine and we can figure that one out. So on mine there are lots of dips there, and some at the back as well. So they want filling in with topsoil for definite. But there is also, which you can't see, the angle is not brilliant, but where these slabs are, the grass is there, and then it slopes down at the bottom there. So we've got to decide whether we want to go from that level and grade it up so it's more smooth and this hump is sort of taken out and dragged back over there a little bit, or we've got to decide if we want to put some topsoil in here and just expect there's a bit of a gentle slope to come onto the lawn. You need to make that decision what you're going to do. So there's different ways of doing it. So like I say, we can get the topsoil in and bring the levels up, or we can get the bumps down. Now there's a few ways of doing this. You did see on a previous video where we can get the bumps down using the scarifier. That's alright for little bumps like anthills and things like that, but you may need something a bit more heavy duty. So what I've got here is my still combi unit, which is that unit there, and we've got this little cultivator tiller attachment which goes on, and that is pretty good. It's pretty much like rotivating your lawn, although not quite as deep, but it works out the top sort of few inches there, and it'll just churn it all up, and then it makes it easier for raking it about. So that's handy for working on some of the bigger bumps. At some point I was talking about thatch levels in lawns. Don't know how well you can see the amount of thatch. On this left hand side, just a normal amount of thatch, and as you get over to the right hand side it becomes thicker and thicker and lumpier and bigger amounts. See the thatch? Oodles and oodles of it, yeah? And then you come over to this side and it's less and less and less. Even though we've gone over really heavy with the scarifier, there isn't as much. So why is that? Well, the reason for that is the sun. This left hand side gets a lot more shade from these trees. In the morning the sun is over there, and this is in shade a lot more than the right hand side. So this just goes to prove what I've been saying for years and years and years, is that anything that's in the sun, the grass is going to reproduce and go through its cycle faster. So it grows, it decays, and it builds up a layer of thatch. As it decays, the grass falls down to the ground and it builds up a layer of thatch. That is why you get more thatch in the sun, and generally that is why you see a lot more thatch in the middle of lawns when they're in the sun. So that's the first pass done, and yeah, that's not too bad as it is. We do need to go around the edges. As you can see, all the soil is dry and hard, so we've got to get that loosened up so it will accept the seeds. I'll keep telling it, accept the seeds. So it will. It'll do what I say. Anyway, so we're still up here to do. So it's had a good heavy first scarify. We're going to go over a second time in 45-degree angle. Right, so it's had a double scarify. Now before I mow it, I'm going to use this scarifying rake, because around the edges we couldn't get with the scarifier there. So it's pretty much hard compacted soil, so we need to get that soil nice and loose so it will accept the seeds. Have I mentioned accepting the seeds before? So literally all we're doing, so this is Wolfgarten, great bit of kit, 10-year guarantee, you cannot knock these. It's got these scarifying blades on, and they just rock backwards and forwards when you are scarifying. Yeah, that's sharp, backwards and forwards. You can buy a version of this, that just connects in there. You can buy a version of this with wheels on the side, it makes life easier, but I just prefer this, just more of a habit. So literally, you can see there, see, we're just rocking rocking it backwards and forwards, and then this edge here you can get it down so I'm closer to the ground to getting deeper. So I'll just show you, so now you can see how everything is loosened up right up to the edges there. So why do we scarify? We scarify a lawn to deal with thatch. Every time your grass grows, as it decays, some of the grass falls down as clippings, and old grass that dies off just falls down in and amongst all the blades of grass. So imagine them all falling down, dropping down. Each time you mow the grass, a little bit will fall in because your mower doesn't get it all. Some will decompose, but some will build up like a thatch layer, like a thatched roof. And as that builds up, what does a thatch roof do? It stops rain from getting into a house. And it's the same with your lawn. When you've got a layer of thatch, it slows down rain from getting into the ground and to the roots. And we see it all the time. So you've got surface thatch on top of the ground, and then you've got subsurface thatch, and that's as matter underneath the ground decays. And then you'll have all the root systems intertwined. So we generally scarify to remove the surface thatch of the lawn, and we start to scratch the surface of the ground just to help everything bed in when we're seeding and things like that. If we're going to deal with subsurface thatch, that's when we need to be doing hollow tie and aeration, and that will pull cores of soil out, and you're going to be seeing that next.